Hi, this is Dr. David Klein with Stages of Life Medical Institute in Longwood, Florida. What I'm going to talk about now is something that's somewhat medical but really not, and it's called economic overhead. And why do you really care about this? Okay, you're going to think, well, gee, I've got enough problem dealing with my kids at home. I've got enough problem worrying about getting toilet paper. I've got enough problem finding supplies. And that actually is the topic. What is the real economic overhead? What is the real deal as it stands right now with the country? And so you're looking around and you're seeing businesses crying because money's not coming in. And that's a real problem because money is the blood of a business. If you don't have it, it's table stakes poker. If you can't make your payroll, you're gone. It's the way it works. If you can't pay your taxes, they might forgive them and they might not, okay? And if you can't pay your vendors, they cut you off. You don't have the same grace periods as you do maybe with a power company. They might give you a month, they might not because it looks bad in the press. But do you really think anybody cares if a business's vendor cuts them off because of credit? And everybody's credit is being cut right now. Whether you made your payments or not, whether you have cash in the bank or not, whether or not you're a good person, bad person, evil person, it doesn't matter. Everybody's credit is being cut because of fear. So what is the real economic overhead? For the individual, I want you to think in terms of what it costs for you to do what you do and to be what you are. With many people, they see their student loans as being their principal overhead. Why is that? Because there's a certain cost involved in getting educated, and by the way, as a professional, it costs a lot. So the student loan business is a very easy example of what it costs to go into business. So if you're going to go into business as a teacher, you got to go to college, generally speaking. You might have to go into graduate school, most probably. These are economic overheads for you to maintain your certification and to be a professional, at least to think you're a professional. All right? So what else? It takes capital. So if you're the small business down the street, you're a boutique in the stores, the strip malls or the big malls, it costs a lot of money to get in there, get outfitted, and be ready to go. And most of these businesses don't even break even until Black Friday. That's why they call it Black Friday, because the business is going out of the red and into the black. That means you're starting to make money. So if you lose a month or two here and there, it may or may not make a big difference in terms of retail. Small retail, big difference, because they may not have the economic resources to sell things online. Well, what are you doing? Okay, airlines. Huge capital expense. Those airplanes cost a lot of money, and when they sit idle, they are still depreciating. They still need maintenance. They're still paying very high rents at the airports. These things don't change. The insurance doesn't change one bit. They are bleeding hard. So we may lose some airlines, and you're going to go, well, who cares? What difference does it make? And the answer is very simple. You're not thinking. In order for you to get from here to there, you're either going to drive, take a train, take a bus, or take a plane. And airlines, in real terms, have delivered marvelously for our country over the years. It costs so much less in real terms to fly coast to coast than it ever did. It used to be just a means of travel for the rich. Now anybody can take a $99 flight from A to B if you time it properly. And if you don't mind being treated like baggage, it works just fine. However, there's another function of the airlines that you may not see. They take the mail. They take your packages from A to B, and more so in times of military disaster, they turn into air conveyances. They move soldiers around. They get impressed into service, and wouldn't you know it, that's our reserve Air Force you're looking at. So there are things that are going on in this country that you may not understand, you may not appreciate, but they're happening nevertheless, and they're necessary nevertheless. Cruise ships. Who needs a cruise ship? Well, from my perspective, you really don't. It's a disease waiting to happen. You're all sitting eating out of the same buffet table with people that don't know how to wash their hands coming out of the washroom, and you're likely to get sick. So it used to be norovirus, it could be salmonella, it could be Shigella, who the heck knows? Now we have a real big one because it puts some people in body bags. What about the craftsmen? Okay, these are individuals that earn their living by doing things like making cabinets, by doing things around construction, and they're going to go. Plumbers and whatnot, they can make a few bucks unstopping toilets, but their real money is made in construction, new construction and or renovations. When that slows down and stops, those people take a as it were. So what is the real economic overhead here? The real economic overhead is going to be delays in getting back to work, delays in getting money flowing. The feds are trying as hard as they can, but they can't spend it for you, and you can't spend it on something that you can't get. This is Dr. David Klein, Stages of Life Medical Institute, worrying about economic overhead.